On this week's episode of Nostalgia Power Prime Time, we look back and reminisce about all the unlucky ladies out there foolish enough to dump us. Plus, PD7 tells us how the 40s are the new 30s, and the only way to pick up chicks is to have massive biceps. Also, the bad guy, aka the Love Doctor, gives anyone stupid enough to listen to him relationship advice guaranteed to destroy your marriage. And Jester Tester talks about all his past love stories, and it turns out he's the biggest ladies' man we've ever met. Plus, Zodwriter tells us about his secret love potion he made in chemistry class. Did it work on his high school crush? All that and more on this week's episode of Nostalgia Power Prime Time.
What's up, everybody?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Already, Kevin Clausen shows up. I'll announce it right away. Prime time. Prime time. Chris Berman queued up now, so I don't have to destroy my vocal cords.
Blow your vocals.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
So what's going on, guys?
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
Not
all right?
much. Pushing through the winter so far.
Yeah, right.
Crazy
I know.
now.
We've been.
Anybody got
there, guys?
just solid ice on their roads right now? Just
Yep.
one tire's pavement, one tire's on ice.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think we got it nearly as bad as you guys, Phil. You and I know Gamer Fridge. I saw a bunch of stuff he's been posting in Discord and all that. I mean, is he around the same area as you?
We're right across
Midwest.
Well, yeah, we're directly across Lake Michigan from each other.
Then you got guys like Stock Jock and Ralphie, and these guys are still walking around in shorts and sandals and stuff like that. And
Must be nice.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I heard it was 40 degrees by Ralphie. That's like summertime to us.
Yeah.
No, I'm out there today shoveling snow because it dumped 4 inches overnight, which is nothing compared to what you got.
Yeah,
Phil.
that's what we got too.
Yeah, and it's been in the single digits every single night. So everything's starting to freeze, waiting for pipes to start bursting, all that fun stuff that you guys out in the warm climates don't ever have to experience. Like Headshake. Yeah, I think he's another guy.
They get
he's a
other
California
things,
guy.
though.
What's up, Headshake?
They get earthquakes.
That's true.
Yeah,
They have their own
Hurricanes.
I
Yeah.
know
they have forest fires all the time and stuff.
UFO invasions, all that.
Yeah,
rubbing it in.
we got to deal with a little bit of snow. I mean, we don't even have tornadoes out here because it's too hilly and rocky,
71 in SoCal today, huh?
Yep. Rich Rivera, what's up?
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. Go
God.
Pack, go. Yeah, congratulations
Go
on the
Reds.
Packers. Taking it to Dallas. Good for that, man. I don't know if there's any Cowboys fans in here, but sorry about your luck. Steelers and the Cowboys have a long history of a rivalry. But I can't really talk because the Steelers got it handed to them yesterday, unfortunately. Waiting for Saiyan Spears to show up and gloat. Apparently he's a Bills fan. Yeah. Yeah, go Lions. They're another one. Yep, Lions advanced. I don't know if you guys are
Gamer Fridge,
watching any
we
football.
live on to another day.
There he is.
Saying no.
There he
You got
is.
Mr.
Yeah,
West
yeah.
here. Come here.
Mr. West.
Oh, he's not
Go
jumping.
Bucks.
He's
Yeah,
camera
Bucks
shy.
put a hurting on the Eagles last night. I was totally wrong about that one. I told Stockjock that's gonna be a tough matchup, and
He's gonna knock something over.
he gets too excited.
There's Mr. West, everybody, making his debut on Nostalgia
There
Power
we
with
go.
Kelly.
Hey West. Yeah, Mike Tomlin. I don't know if he's going to be. Who knows what the deal was with that? So they asked him. I'm getting a little bit off on a tangent about football. I wasn't expecting to, but at the post game, they asked Mike Tomlin if about his contract because he's only got 1 year left, and people have been screaming for him to go. And the reporter asked him the question. He just looked at her and walked out. It's like end of interview. So I don't know.
It's tough. I mean, look, we've had.
Well, I mean,
NFC
there's a sweepstakes going on for Bill Belichick, isn't there?
Yeah.
I heard Atlanta really wants him too.
Man, if I'm Bill Belichick, I don't know.
I go to the Cowboys, man. Why not? It's Dallas.
I don't know him and Jerry Jones.
Thanks,
There's
Ralphie.
no way. There's no way they would ever be able to coexist.
That would be a match made in hell.
You know, he is so
I mean, it would be entertaining.
old. I don't know.
Who you say he's old? Which one?
Jerry
Belichick or
Jones.
Jerry Jones?
Jerry Jones. I mean,
Saying he could kick the bucket any day.
well,
now.
I'm not saying that. I'm just like, how intense is he really? I mean,
Yeah, I know, but he
Tell us how you really think, Mike.
he. I mean, if what he does as an owner of an NFL team, I don't think he gets too involved in the day-to-day actions of the team. Like sometimes you got to let your coaches coach and let your general managers do their part. Now, you know, if the guy says, "Hey, I'm going to trade the franchise quarterback away," then of course the owner has authority to step in and say no. But this is nostalgia power sports talk. Jerry Jones, good. When Jerry Jones gets mad, I think the rest of us get happy.
yeah, I think McCarthy's out too, Kevin.
Yeah, there's a lot of Vrabel, Jim Harbaugh supposedly coming back to the NFL. And then talks in with a good point, a very morbid point, but yes, any of us can kick the bucket any day.
That is a good point.
Well, Green Bay title. I mean, hopefully, I'm pulling for the Packers.
Hey, might as well, you know.
Yeah, right. They're
Jordan
underdogs.
Love's. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. It's fun.
He's came
Nobody-
into his own later in this
Nobody
season.
expected this to happen, so we'll see. They could get
Well,
annihilated.
they got what?
Who
San
knows?
Francisco. Man, if they could beat San Francisco, then
I mean, I think everyone would have picked San Fran or Philly before by week 2 that they were going to represent the NFC.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, right. Ralphie, you guys lost me. All I hear is Charlie Brown.
I don't know. I wouldn't count out the Detroit Lions. They've had some strange luck this season.
Yeah, they have, and they are. If there's a team that is due,
there's some good games. Stock Jock's a big Tampa fan. Gamer Fridge, the Lions. I mean, there's
Bill,
some
we even had
matchups.
Ralphie watching football this weekend. I mean,
Yeah.
he says
Yeah,
he's
he almost
you're
converted
not that
him
clueless,
into,
Ralphie.
You almost converted him into a Pittsburgh fan.
Oh, getting ready for Blitz League. Is Smoke Break have a league? Did he get a league started? How did I miss that? What did he say? Give me $5 million to coach and fire me. Yeah, I would sign up for that. Give me one season with any team. I don't even care. For $5 million, I'd do it for $500,000. I think. We're losing people. Sorry, Linda.
Thanks for the super chat, Kevin.
Yes, thank you very much, Kevin. We're still talking about baseball.
And she in the house.
Uh-oh.
For false, no, we're talking about football, not the football that you're aware of. You know,
Actually,
the football that you throw with your hand. You know,
Saturday night, if anyone wants to just annihilate me in NFL Blitz, we're gonna stream it
Is that this Saturday.
this Saturday. Let's do. I might start at 7. You know, the Packers are playing the same time. I might start an hour early. We'll see.
Yeah, I feel bad. I told Smoke Break I was going to because he was doing a blitz stream the other night or last night, and because they moved the football game from Sunday to Monday, I had to miss it.
Somebody
But I've been looking to
beat
get
me
some blitz
so
play.
bad the other night. I was testing my online, my connection.
You got
I lost bad.
taken to the shed, did they say, huh? All right. Well, I guess that's enough football talk before people start getting upset. I wanted to bring this up since, unless you live under a rock, it's been all over the internet today. I think there was probably about 40 reaction videos and posts about it. But I wanted to get everybody's opinion on it, though.
Is that something new from New Wave coming out, Mike?
There is something new from New Wave, and I was a little kind of, I don't know, disappointed about it in a way because
I heard about this one.
I'm sure it's cool and it looks cool, but from what they're saying, it's not a real playable game.
You know what?
No.
I blame these scumbag home arcade YouTubers for this type of crap.
Sorry.
For this type of crap, guys. Because here's the thing: We don't need this. This is exactly the problem. They get on YouTube, they hype up this garbage, and now we got more desk crap that we can't use. Like, what are you
Yeah.
gonna do with this?
$200 too is
Yeah,
what I think the price
Come
for this
on,
was.
come on, guys! Like,
I mean,
really?
at least with the arcade cabinets, they're playable. You know, you could hook the
Yeah,
controllers to your
exactly.
TVs and play that way.
This is like
But what is the point?
This is like a new level of exploitation in terms of, you know, gouging the consumer, going after the fan. You know what? Make the real stuff or don't make it at all. This kind of stuff is like got me completely ready to turn my nose up on the whole hobby. Like, give me a break.
This is why I want to do
This is
clips
the straw
of
that broke
nostalgia
it, man.
power. Like right there would have been a great clip, Mike. Like,
Yeah.
That's okay.
Previously on nostalgia power.
Console fanboy will take it and clip it. I guarantee you that. Because this is look at this crap. I mean, just look at cabinet features. What features? What are we talking about here? Features.
Highly detailed upper and lower the black hole modeled playfields.
Oh.
No, when I had first heard that this was coming out, I honestly believed that they were actually going to make, you know, moving, flippers. And
I kind of did
playable
too.
game.
I mean, that's what I thought based on like what they've put out in the
Yeah,
past. I mean, even if it wasn't that great,
I'd love to make a bunch of short videos, like buy up all the versions that they have. But this is New Wave Toys we're talking about, so it'll probably take 3 or 4 years for them all to come out. It take 3 or 4 years for them to come out. So it would be nice though to have like a little collection of them and just do videos throwing them down the stairs or throwing them off the roof.
You
just
know,
do a bunch of shorts. Oh,
like what Stan said, you know, the At Games Micro is around usually, you know, $300 at times, and you can actually play it.
And it's fully playable.
Yeah.
Phil has a great video if you haven't seen it about that At Games Micro or Mini or whatever it is.
Well, I mean, yes, that's a good point. They do have a cigarette machine. Do we really think they'd make a tiny pinball? Well, I mean, kind of. I thought, like Jesse said, maybe if you hit the buttons, at least you know the flippers, and you'd be able to knock the ball around a little
You
bit.
could put
maybe
a little ball bearing in there and
yeah.
just smack it around.
I like Kevin's comment. Like, I think I'm not mad either. Like, if you want to buy it, like, just set it with like people. Again, if you want to just have an area for it, but yeah, it's $200. Like,
yeah, features. It's really
that Marvel
real.
pinball I saw for $300. It's not looking too bad at all right
if
now.
it wasn't $200, I agree with you,
These
Johnny.
kinds of things, you know what it is? These kinds of little like replicas, like basically, what do some YouTubers affectionately like to call it all? Desk shit. Isn't that essentially what they like to call it? Desk shit.
Expensive dust collectors.
Self shit. You know, like they didn't learn anything when Arcade 1-Up released those goofy
Hey, I have one in the
collector
case.
You have one.
And even
It's
the collector,
that's right, you do.
even the collector cade is actually playable. It's crap, but it's playable. This, you know, it's like, what? Why are we doing this? Why are we wasting shelf space?
Well, I wanted to show
because we're waiting
being that
for
we're
new
on that.
releases from Arcade 1-Up right now, you guys.
Yeah, Stock Jock's right. The ball, yeah, it would be so small. The gameplay, it would be even if it was playable, it would be virtually unplayable just because of how it would never.
It
would never function right.
So like the cancer promoting machines, this is another useless release from the great New Wave Toys. Congratulations, guys.
Am I the only one that liked that cigarette machine?
I mean, it was cool. Like it looked cool, but I mean, I don't think I would spend my money on it.
Come on, I know. I want to see how many variants of the cancer stick machine they're going to come out. I want to see if they're.
They did cool, so you got to get like Newport and Marlboro, right? Different skins.
Yeah, different skins. We need what is it? Vantage cigarettes,
Camel
and you know, Newports, and I mean they got to get really
Virginia Slims
and go Virginia Slim, but they really got to get scummy and do the ones that are, you know, the
Hungry Wolf
that are, you know, completely obscure that nobody remembers. Really dig deep into your cancer stick lore here.
Black Hole's one of his all-time favorite pins. I can honestly say that I don't think I've ever even heard of it before this. I mean, maybe that's like blasphemous to say.
Here's the thing: you could probably buy a real broken pinball machine for the cost of this thing, a real broken one that doesn't work, and then just spend the money over time rehabbing it for a better investment. And that's real talk. I mean, why are you gonna, buy something like this that doesn't do anything? And then there'll be some idiot, some idiot on YouTube who's gonna be like, well, I figured out a way to modify it so that it can actually work, guys. I figured it out. Like, okay.
Believe me, this makes me not feel so bad spending $2.99 on the numbskull quarter scale TMNT. Like I actually felt a lot better.
Honestly, after the show, I'm gonna go back and watch Phil's video on the at games again, because like, really, I mean, you want something that actually works with decent functionality, and I mean, come on, man, wow.
Yeah, so I feel like we're all kind of in the same boat here.
If New Wave Toys keeps this up, what's next? What's next? This is about as stupid as those. You know what this reminds me of? This is about as stupid as those Xbox Series X toasters that they're selling at Walmart, where you put the piece of toast in and wow, it comes up on your bread with the Xbox logo. How big of a nerd do you got to be to buy something like that?
I almost bought the Batman one at Hobby Lobby's.
Yeah, but the Batman one is like $25. The Batman one I seen on Amazon for like $25. The Xbox one is going for almost $130.
It's like we're getting trolled. We're waiting for something, and I'd have to feel that the overall consensus is that people are kind of just.
Not
really too sure about this.
I like the fridge too.
Twisted Gaming doesn't know what he's talking about, man. He just comes up with stuff just randomly, shoots out of both sides of his mouth, and plays games and guesses and does his Mike Mullet interpretation, whatever the hell that is.
So Stock Jock makes a valid argument here that the people that have the New Ways toy, how often do you play them? And he's right. Like I had the Ghosts and Goblins, and at first it was cool to do it just because of what it was. But
how often are we playing anything we have?
Well,
that's another.
The only difference with them is if somebody comes over and you want to show it to them, I think it's a little bit more of a bang to show them. Like I have the Dragon's Lair and the Cubert that it does play. I mean, that you get more of someone that's say, wow, that's awesome. That's kind of cool, But
wow,
look, let's like this. Look at this. I'm going to show you.
You spent money on this crap. Aren't you special? Like I got an uncle. Okay, that I go to. I got an uncle.
It's a hard maybe.
Okay, so here's the thing, guys. Like I got an uncle.
Thank you, Kevin.
Like totally
for the update.
All right, Kevin. Thank you. I got an uncle that he collects. He's a big Star Trek fan, and so what does he collect? He collects these pewter starship models that you put on your wall, and they're made out of pewter, but they're real freaking expensive, and it's the only thing he collects. But he has all the starships on the wall. I mean, we're talking Enterprise D, Enterprise A, B, C, whatever, all the Enterprises, the Klingons, all these ships, and I'm like, that's really cool. And you get, when you walk into his house, you can see them. They're on display on the wall. It's kind of neat. It's a neat little novelty. My point is, it's like a 30-second conversation, about the same as these little mini, this little mini desk crap. You could get more conversation out of your home arcade, collection than you can these little mini damn things. Guys, nobody cares. You're not going to impress anybody. And if you're a single guy, here's the thing. If you're a single guy and you don't have anybody, you look like the biggest loser from Loserville. You bring a chick into the house looking at that, right? You bring a woman into the house. She sees like a whole line of like for example, could you imagine Michael B trying to meet a woman at this point in his life, walking into his place and seeing 14 arcade cabinets lined up on 2 freaking floors? Give me a break.
If it's smaller than a countercade, Zod has no use for it.
Yeah, for real. Oh my!
The Gamer Fridge is right. Yeah, I think Zod. He might be warming up to it a little bit. Yeah, maybe like you said, if you were creating like a diary, if you had just the biggest basement in the world, and you had an area where you were creating a display or something like that. Maybe, and again though, but for $200, that's
well. Let's just go on that for a second. I just shared something with you.
Yes, okay. I wanted to wait when it was a good time to bring it up. So
okay, so I was getting into these for like 30 seconds, and it's J&D Studios. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of these. Well, these are like these are 27-inch tall statues. Now these are just statues, right?
Those are beautiful,
but they're gorgeous. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous. But I'm just going to scroll down here and I'm going to show you how much these go for. I was going in for the Wonder Woman, and then when I seen the price on it,
I could take a guess. Oh God, that was way higher than I thought.
I don't know. Can I zoom that in? Well, I'll just say
I don't know if we can or not.
Does that say sold out?
Jesse?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
$3,199.
But the thing is, Jesse, if you're into these kinds of things, there are more affordable options that look just as good. There really are. And that's the whole point. Like there's like stuff like this. There's options if you want.
So are you going towards my arcade right now? Is it kind of like
statue collecting is not cheap?
Well, are we comparing that? Like, I'm serious. Like, with my arcade kind of stepping it up a little bit, I would say, you know.
Oh, look, there's Christian Bale.
Oh, look, there's Amber Heard. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those are scary, accurate looking.
They have glass eyes inside them and everything.
All right, I might buy that Harley.
And the skin is all silicone, so they said the skin feels real and everything. So
that's crazy.
It is pretty amazing, though. But I mean, that's a lot of money.
Oh my God, I know.
Think of every statue.
They're all sold out.
Every one of them. Yep. And now, if you try and buy them on eBay, they're $5,000, $6,000, $7,000.
Right. eBay is going to gouge the hell out of you because, well, here's the thing. I mean,
look at that Joker.
Yeah.
How much money does eBay take? What's eBay's cut off of something like
that's
this?
insane.
Off of what's eBay's cut off of $7,000? I mean,
probably pretty nice one, I would think, right?
Good Lord.
Yeah, I would. My God, I would have to think these weren't like mass produced. That's probably why they're sold out.
Right, they're made in
like
Korea.
5 of each.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they're made in Korea.
5 of each.
Well,
good.
What do you think?
That's real hair, guys.
Maybe it is a lot.
They literally got locks of Gal Gadot's hair and used it for the creation of all 5 of these dolls.
Actually, I think I could get Gal Gadot to sit on my shelf for $3,000 for a couple hours.
You might actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be cheaper to get her here.
Tell her, Gal, I want you to sit on my shelf, and what we're going to do is we're going to bronze you so that I can have some sort of memento for this moment of you sitting on my shelf, baby.
Yes, MG, it's real human skin.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what they use. Remember, Soylent Green, you're eating human beings, but for some of these figures, what they do is they take real, human skin off corpses and use the skin, and they use the hair.
Well, doesn't it get a little dried out?
No, because they
keep putting that oil.
You got to keep lotioning it.
They put a chemical on. They put a chemical. They basically put a chemical in it so that it keeps it.
Okay, Ralph. Yes, the question we were all asking secretly in our heads: do the outfits come off? Probably not. I'm just gonna say probably not. All right, we're getting we're kind of getting into the main theme of the show, though.
Now I would say that I would say that most of these women online now, you could get their bath water, because as long as they have an OnlyFans, you can pretty much get whatever you want.
Well, Kevin also brings up a good point. We're not going to read it out loud.
How clean is
sorry
that
for people that are watching?
I think that's the question here.
He's right, though. Like, people, they sell that kind of stuff online, and people buy it.
They sell their dirty socks. They sell their dirty
everything
on the dark web. You mean?
No, like through like their what is it? What's that? Their OnlyFans accounts.
Yeah, wanting a $1,200 Unicron, that is not. No, I mean, that's fairly reasonable, actually. Those statues, they are. Believe me, I would love to have a Batman. Like, if they had a Michael Keaton Batman, it would be amazing to have, but I could never justify.
Not that kind of money.
I got a Mezco Toys Batman from Michael Keaton from Batman '89. Pretty freaking detailed.
Yeah.
The one I have back there is the NECA.
Yeah.
I've
quarter
also got a Mezco Toys Henry Cavill Superman from Batman versus Superman, and he looks really, really detailed as well. Yeah, it just depends.
Sure, the real Amber Heard costs less.
And I didn't pay thousands of dollars either.
Zodwater.
Zodwater. Yeah, what did he say? Somebody said Zod's bathwater. Yeah, but totally buy Zod's bathwater. Zodwater. There you go. Yeah. Wait, what? There was a 1-to-1 scale Chun-Li bus coming out that looks nice. I can't imagine how much that would cost. If it's 1-to-1
well, you got to remember the Chun-Li. It's all the Chun-Li. It's all in the chest.
Was that what he meant by bust?
Yeah, probably. Right.
We're getting way carried away here.
Yeah, I want to see it.
I wouldn't be surprised, Hot Rangus. I honestly would not be surprised. That would be a huge, huge selling point for that stand.
Oh, by Sideshow?
Is this the Amber Heard you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. It was this. What about them Dolphins, huh? Are we back to football? What kind of dating show is this? What did you expect? I mean,
oh wow, that Chun-Li is 4,000.
Oh, you looked it up.
Am I looking at that right? That can't be right. Is that right?
If you're a big enough Street Fighter fan, you get yourself. You could probably get somebody to cosplay as Chun-Li and give you the night of your life for that.
My God, it's 35 inches high.
Yeah.
Chun-Li and Cammy and have a fun time.
4,000. I think I said this once before. My first car didn't cost 4,000.
Yeah, I think I don't remember what we were talking about.
Yeah.
And we all made that point. I think all of our first cars were.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Jeez.
That puts it into perspective a little bit.
Okay, well then the new wave toys don't look so bad now, does it?
No, apparently that $200 is chump change compared to.
Except for the fact that
it doesn't play.
New wave toys, it does not.
MG will cosplay as Chun-Li for 4,000.
I'd argue that you can get way more. You can get way more out of a statue than you can out of a new wave toys dead pinball machine. Arguably. It's.
Does this have anything to do with the Zoltar?
There may be a little bit of a disgruntled.
Oh God, Zoltar.
Maybe just.
I regret ordering that thing on levels that I just can't even speak on. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting over a year.
When did you put the order in?
Over a year for
something. Was this September when we went to Cleveland? Is that when you did it?
No, this was January of last year.
Yeah, last year.
Oh, wow. So it's over a year.
Over a year, man. And here's the funny part about that. I don't mind waiting over a year for something because I waited for my handheld PC, the Ein Odin that I have. It's like a Steam Deck. When they kickstarted that thing, it's like an alternative to the Steam Deck. When they kickstarted that thing, I knew that I was going to have to wait over a year. They told me I would have to wait over a year, and they released constant updates and stuff, letting people know the progress of everything that they were doing. So I was well aware of it. So for that, I didn't mind because I knew I would eventually get it, and they were really, really great about letting people know. But New Wave Toys, it's like all they do is play games. They announce products,
literally,
and then they sit there and literally, they announce products, and then they sit there and they wait. You wait. Everything is all the rage for like about a month or so. They hype this Zoltar thing up like it was the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? And then all they do, then they forget about it and move on to the next product and start propping up the next product. No, that's all that they do.
If I got to put a silver lining on it, at least I give them a little credit for finding the issues and not sending out crap things to everybody and trying to fix it.
Yep.
I'll give them a little credit for that.
I may know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
we'll see how well it works, but
is that a Casino-cade?
What about it?
I'm being a smart butt today. Sorry.
Oh god.
So who's pairing up with who for the dating game? Okay, well, we've been going for half an hour. We may only end up going for an hour. So to segue over, we're going to go to commercial break right now because I think it will. I think it'll be appropriate and should spark some good conversation. So we'll be back in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You know, I had a really fun time at the Cleveland Gaming Classic last year with the guys. We have to go on another trip together. I know. I'm going to plan out a trip to get everybody involved. Everybody can come. What the heck could we do, though? Maybe we'll just stick with the Midwest Gaming Classic.
And there I was minding my own business, browsing Best Buy for the last copy of Oppenheimer on DVD that will ever be for sale there, only to be approached by some dude filming footage with his phone, incoherently mumbling about arcade one-up machines. And the guy sees and somehow recognizes me as Sam Witwicky from Transformers. Look, I'm just a normal dude, okay? I don't make blockbusters anymore, and I damn sure don't give a Tuesday night crap about some over-bloated action movie franchise. Anyway, you are watching Nostalgia Power Primetime, hosted by the bad guy Mike Worley, Zod Writer, Jester Tester, and Phil the Documentarian, otherwise known as PD7. Hey, I may not be famous anymore, but these guys are really going places.
That was good.
Get your ticket. That's the next trip.
Wow.
We're going on a cruise together.
Wow.
and dude, the Shia LaBeouf, man, that was that was scary good.
It sounds
yeah.
just like him.
What's he been up to recently?
Well,
he's like kind of fell off the face of the earth, right?
He found religion, and now he's going. He wants to become a Catholic bishop, I think.
Really?
Yeah. So he's undergoing some sort of transformation. Funny story. When I was doing the Zod Rider show back on internet radio, I had him set up for an interview, and I was supposed to interview him, and I ended up doing a whole show. Me and my co-host at the time had everything planned out. Her and I, we were talking about his movies, hyping him up because we were bringing him on. We were going to interview him on the show. And at the time, it was funny because I had set everything up with his people ahead of time, and he was going to come on, and something had happened where he was really, really late, and he couldn't make the show until the tail end of the show. As we were getting off the air, his people had called me, and we were going to bring him through. But it was internet radio, and at the time, I only had a certain allotted amount of time that I was allowed to be on the air because there was another show coming on immediately after mine. So I wasn't able to extend the show and bring him on. So I ended up missing him. I never got a chance to talk to him on the radio, but I came this close to talking to him. And it was right after his I think it was his Nymphomaniac movie, either Nymphomaniac Part 1 or Nymphomaniac Part 2 that had just come out, and it was going to be a great interview. I had all kinds of things set up, all kinds of great questions. I was so excited for it, and I never got a chance to interview him. Maybe,
that's unfortunate.
Maybe someday. You know, I mean, it was quite the lead up to that show. And what we ended up doing was we ended up talking about throughout that show, we ended up talking about his entire filmography. It ended up being almost like a Shia LaBeouf appreciation episode. It was pretty funny.
Well, that's kind of sucks that you didn't get to talk to him, because that was right around probably the height of his popularity.
Right around the time that he kind of had like tapered off from his Hollywood thing. He was doing he was doing more indie type stuff, and he was not, you know, his whole "I'm not famous anymore" quote and all that stuff. So,
Oh yeah.
Hey, you had the dating game on your thumbnail. You guys
Yes.
remember that story about the serial killer that was on that show?
No.
No,
a serial killer?
really? You never heard it?
No.
I think his name was Rodney Alcala or something, Alcala or something like that. Well, anyway, I think it was in 1978. He came on the show. They didn't know his criminal background, but they knew that he was off. The producer really didn't want him on there, but there was somebody else, the casting people, a woman said that he was good looking, so she kind of wanted him on there. But what they didn't know is at the time that he came on, he had already killed 5 women. Yeah, and I think a child. But anyway, so the game played out. The girl that was doing the picking, she actually picked him. And
oh my.
yeah. So when it came to the point where they were going to go out, and she called the studio and said, "You know what? I have a creepy feeling about this guy. He's just giving me creepy vibes." And she canceled the date to her, and she got lucky because after that, he had killed many more people after that. She would have been one of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I don't know how I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
So that was going to be one of the questions I asked about that show, because I never really watched it, you know, but I knew of it. But so was it a real dating show? Like, obviously it was then, if those people actually they hooked up afterwards and like actually went on a date or whatever.
Yeah, they would pay for like
it wasn't like scripted or, you know, like something
no.
The Bachelor. Like, how real is that kind of stuff, you know?
There was a new spin-off on it. I think in 2021 it was the celebrity dating game, and people would come on and there would be celebs that you would pick, but you would never go out on a date. It was all kind of just for show. But the original one, yeah, they did go out on dates. They paid for them to go on a trip together and that. But some people didn't go. Some people didn't like them afterwards, so they canceled out, which with that one girl, she did, you know. But, yeah.
Every once in a while, you can still find, I think, what is it, the Game Show Network or something? I think they still have all the old game shows and stuff on, and pretty sure the dating game is one of them. But yeah, maybe they should probably filter their, you know, make their criteria a little bit harder to get on the show.
Well, back then it was tough. You know, you couldn't go on the internet and find out.
I guess that's probably true.
You know, it was tough to find.
It's like, hey, he looks legit.
Yeah, he looks low. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, how bad? Like somebody said in the chat, I think, how bad did the other two have to be for her to pick the creepy guy?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Jesse said that supposedly they thought he was good looking, right?
Yeah,
so that's enough.
I think he had like long hair or something back in the day or something. I never really seen that show, but I always heard about that story. You know,
I wonder if you could find it on YouTube.
That exact
that episode. I bet you probably can.
Yeah,
do we know the guy's name?
Well, the producer had said that they wanted to make the show a little bit raunchier back when it got to 78. So they had this guy on, and he started talking about, you know, so a lot of his answers were double entendres. So I think she was into that kind of. She kind of fell for that a little bit, but
put in on YouTube, put in dating game serial killer, and it'll come up Rodney James Alcala on the dating.
Yeah, that's it.
Here it is, guys. I'll send it. I'll send it to you. I'll send you the link, and you can.
Oh yeah, Rodney.
It's only 5. It's 5 minutes. Did you find it?
Not yet.
It's a 5-minute clip. Here, I'll send it to you.
You found it?
Yeah.
Did you send it? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
We may not.
Why'd you turn your volume off?
I'm sure they'll probably not be happy with us playing the whole thing.
That's all.
Well, let's just see what he looks like.
Yeah, let's see what he looks like.
and we'll get right underway. It's time to meet
I would
our
turn it down. Yeah.
game number one. And
Is it too loud or anything, or is it good?
No, it's good.
Good luck, gentlemen. Well, let's see. Baxter number one is a successful photographer who got his start when his father found him in the dark room at the age of 13, fully developed. Between takes, he might
What was his name again? Jim Lang, right?
Motorcycling, please welcome Rodney Alcala. Rod, welcome.
That's him.
Yeah,
It's time to meet our young lady for game
Looks like
number
Khan
one,
from
and
Star Trek
here
2.
she is.
Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah, that's right. I couldn't think of his name, so I had to call him Khan.
Massaging feet, but she quit when her boss suggested that she work her way up. Then she taught school in Phoenix, Arizona, and now she's here to educate our three bachelors in the art of amour. Welcome, if you will, sensational Cheryl Bradshaw. Hello, Cheryl.
She the one that picks him? She's the one, right?
yeah, she picks him.
Make sure everything is straight.
Because what she's the contestant, right? So she gets to choose between the three guys.
Between the three, yeah.
Anything you like.
Before we,
God,
Yeah,
she's like, I mean, God, look at how excited she looked.
yeah.
Can you imagine though the luck that she realized something was off about this guy afterwards, and then said no. And she actually called the casting
Retro
people
doc.
and said, "Would that be okay if I don't go on the date?" And they said, "No, that's fine."
I'm getting creepy vibes from this guy.
Yeah,
You got to check out the. I don't in the clip. They don't show. I don't think they show the other two guys. They just showed him.
Right,
And they also have the full episode. They also have the full episode too.
And it's up on YouTube.
It looks like, yeah.
I think one of the questions too, something about a banana. Like she asked him, "If you were a food, what would you be?" And he'd say, "I'd be a banana." And then she said, "Well, what would I do with that?" And she said, and he said something to the effect, "You could peel me," or something like that. So even the producer said that was just creepy. Now looking back at it now, knowing who he is and everything, it was just creepy now,
No, I don't have the kind of
you didn't have those flowing locks.
Kind of hair that dude's got. I mean,
No, I don't think even on my best day I never had hair like that. So when was that? What was that, in the 70s, I guess?
I think that was 78, that episode. Yeah.
Mike, we weren't even born yet.
No, we weren't at all. Yeah, that guy, somehow managed to get himself on. Like, was that his plan?
Guys, this was before the internet. People were bored. They had to have other hobbies.
Right.
Well, speaking of that, look at all the ones that came on there. Farrah Fawcett was on there before she was a star. Arnold Schwarzenegger, John Ritter.
They were on that show?
Yeah, before they were stars.
As contestants?
Yeah. Yep.
So that makes you wonder, right? At the time, were they like aspiring actors and actresses?
I think so. I think
did anything to get on TV?
I think they were just hanging around Hollywood or wherever that was.
Sure, I'll be a contestant on the show.
Yeah.
So somebody actually could have went on a date with Arnold. Imagine the woman that didn't pick him and picked some schlub that amounted to nothing.
Yeah, I don't remember if they were ever picked.
That's funny though to think about. Well, I mean, I don't have any relationship stories like that would compare to something like that. Like, I met my wife. I found out years later she was a serial killer.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we went from love boat to serial killer.
I mean, that's a hell of a way to lighten up the discussion after all the new wave toys talk. See what new wave toys leads us to? Do you see what I'm talking about, guys? Now we're talking about serial killers.
We're supposed to be like happy, love, and all this and that, and then, I feel like if we're going to bring up the dating game, that's probably something that's well known.
I have a quick story on one of the girlfriends that I met and how I met her. So this may go into a creepy vibe too, but we'll see.
Oh yeah.
If you guys want to hear it,
tell us how creepy you used to be, Jesse.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Do you want to hear it? Up north, where in the northern part of the state, there used to be an insane asylum, and it was shut down after a while. So it was completely, abandoned. So it became a hot spot for the kids to kind of go up this hill. and you had to go up this winding hill to get to this insane asylum. So the thing was, a lot of teenagers would go up there to try and go to the insane asylum and hang out up there and come back down. Well, anyway, so I think I was about 16, 17 or something like that. I had a friend that he was a little older, so he could drive. So we went up there and we parked the car down at the bottom. The problem was that this got to be known as a hangout for the kids, so the cops would come around all the time. Well, anyway, we started walking up, and as we got to almost the center of the hill, here comes a car, and it was a cop car. So we were like, oh, shoot. So there was two people in front of us, but I didn't see who they were because they were a little ahead of us. Well, anyway, we started running, and at one point, the car was kind of gaining on us. So we kind of jumped. My friend and I jumped opposite sides of the road. And I thought it was just a tree-lined side. But what it was a bank, a hill, a pretty steep hill. So when I jumped, I fell down the hill and I rolled down the hill right into a big giant rose bush, right? So I'm stuck in the thorns of the rose bushes. So I look over to my left and there's a girl there. She jumped first and I never even knew she was there. So now we're both ducking and the spotlight is going back and forth trying to find us all. So she didn't fall into the rose bush. She fell onto a ridge like a little bit, but I went down further. So she starts going, oh my God, we're going to get caught. We're going to get caught. She's like getting crazy. So I said, no, we're going to be all right. Don't worry about it. So then the cop car were watching him. He goes and he leaves. So then I said, oh, by the way, this is so corny when I think back, but I said, by the way, my name is Jesse. I like evading the police and long walks up to abandoned insane asylums. I'd like to go out sometime. So she looked at me like I was nuts. So I yanked one of the roses off the rose bush and I handed it to her. And she looked at me for a second. She goes, yeah, okay. So then, yeah, that's how I met my first girlfriend.
That was pretty smooth, though. Like quick thinking on your feet. Yeah, I like evading
I
the
was
police.
Scared to death. Yeah, that we were.
Then you thought to grab the rose, even.
You know,
the fact that you were able to grab a rose and pull it off there, and not just totally shred your hand to pieces on the floor.
Well, I was.
That was a
my head was pouring with blood at that point because when you get scratched in your head, you bleed profusely because you got a lot of pressure up in your head, right? Well, anyway, so it worked out good.
So you got blood coming down your face, and she still agreed to go out with you.
Yeah, actually,
yeah, she did. I mean, it was the rose that did it, apparently.
You basically proved to her that you're crazier than she is, and she can't deny that. When you want to date crazy chicks, you got to show that you're crazier than them, and then they'll be into you.
I think that's what we had in common. Yeah, we were two crazy nuts.
Well, happy birthday! Did we miss it was Johnny's birthday?
No, yeah, I think we did miss it. Yeah, we didn't acknowledge it. Happy birthday, Johnny! Sorry, I didn't know that. What is MG's story? One time, me and my friends were just having fun during school summer. We decided to go on an adventure. We sang, ran like carefree fools, and even played chicken with a train on a rail bridge. Well, I take it you lost. I mean, because if you win chicken, that you're the one that doesn't move, right?
That's right, Thumper.
Yeah. Mike, do I have a birthday clip? No. And I think we talked about that before, and I haven't had the time. It's been stupid busy. So that actually, Jesse, that's a pretty impressive story.
Yeah,
and the fact that you dove off a bank and it landed in a rose bush of all things, like.
Yeah, and it was actually if it wasn't for the rose bush, I would have rolled all the way down the hill to the road down below. Which Jesse, it wouldn't have been good.
No. Jesse, if they were going to remake One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I want that scene. I want what you just described in the movie. I think that'd be that would be cinematic gold. Seriously.
Yeah, especially if you would have seen the look of the insane asylum that we were trying to reach at that point. It was a real creepy looking place, And
you have Nurse Ratchet running out.
Is it still standing? Is the place still there?
I don't know. I haven't been up there
because I know a lot of those old abandoned insane asylums are like popular on like Halloween. They do ghost tours and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can't swear. I know it was still there probably about 20 years ago, but I don't know now.
Oh, happy birthday, Gamer Fridge.
It's like, because that's what they do. They close down all these insane asylums and just let the people out. Just let them loose.
I mean, isn't that a lot better now than finding someone like that than going on the internet now? It's like
there's no effort. Yeah,
no, there's no effort.
You don't have to try.
Nobody's wrapped up in rose bushes or anything. I mean, come on.
No.
Evading the cops all for a date.
Yep. Yeah. like me, I would say like people my age probably was the start of having it too easy, because we talked about this like on Saturday by ourselves, the emergence of online and like America Online, AOL chat rooms, like instant messaging. I was a young to middle-aged teenager at that point, like 13, 14, 15. So it was the greatest thing in the world. I'm like, I could talk to any girl that I want and don't have to feel the pressure of face-to-face. Like, it's almost too easy.
I was just going to say, I think it made it a little too easy.
It did, yeah.
Yeah. And everybody was looking for the same thing. So if they're all on a dating app, everybody is looking. Yep. It was a little different back then.
Yeah. Modern dating apps have nothing but bots on them. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
So now we're in the age of AI. So it's
brutal out there. I mean, it is just brutal.
One other time too, I met somebody one time, and I was in between girlfriends at that point, and I was home, and the phone rang. So I pick up the phone, and it was a wrong number, but it was a girl on the phone, and we kept talking. And she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought this was my girlfriend's phone number." And I said, "No." She says, "But because she was one number off." So she said, "So you must live close to where my girlfriend lives." And I did, of course, because back then you could tell just by the area code and the digits where somebody kind of, resided. So I said, "Yeah." So we spent about maybe an hour, 2 hours on the phone, talking afterwards on a wrong number. So then she said, would you like to meet up sometime? And I said, yeah. So it wound up, she lived one city away. So I went to meet her. And again, I went with that same friend that drove me around up to the insane asylum. And when she came out,
this guy's good luck. This guy is good luck, Jesse.
We hit it off. Yeah, he really was. And we hit it off. We wound up, going out for a little while. And she turned out to be an actress, a child actress that was on ABC's after, what is that?
After School Specials.
Yes, After School Specials. Man. And she did a movie with Morgan Freeman and a movie with Samuel L. Jackson back in that day.
And this is somebody who just called your house
on a wrong number.
A wrong number. And you just figured, I'll ask her out. Why not?
Yeah. Yep.
Just totally going for it. Say, hey, who knows who she?
We just
be a serial killer.
Yeah, I didn't even know who she was. I'd never even seen her before. Yeah.
Well, all the stories were apparent. Well, the insane asylum was a cool, popular hangout. Like,
yeah, well, kids.
Honey, I'll take you to the insane asylum.
Hey guys, it was just as cool. It was just as cool as the arcade back then. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, of which,
they had stories all around this place.
Hang out at Arkham Asylum. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, that's what it looked like. They had stories about it. They had somebody had gotten killed in the front, and somebody. I don't think that was actually true, but someone spray painted, like, what's that image that they put on murder scenes? So somebody spray painted that on the front. So,
Hello, this is the fire department. No, but my name's Jester. What's yours? Don't worry about the flames. What are you doing Saturday? Jester would call 911 to pick up the operator.
If you survive this,
that never works.
If you survive this, we can have a fun time on Saturday.
You sound like a nice person.
Yeah, you sound pretty. You sound pretty hot. Is it hot in there?
Oh, geez, no joke. Speaking of serial killer stuff, New Wave Toys Pinball ships on Halloween. No kidding. We'll see.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Actually, it should ship on April Fool's Day. Because you'd have to be a fool to order them.
I don't have any cool stories. Probably the coolest story, I don't even know if I would call it a cool story. Probably end up being lame. But so I was just out of high school, and I think I might have been 19, and there was a party going on at somebody's house, and me and my buddies, my one buddy already had his own trailer. Like he had his own place. So, like it was like the coolest thing. So we always used to hang out there. And they're like, hey, so-and-so, you know, they're having a party. Their parents are out of town. So that was always the thing. You know, parents went away, party at the house. And there was one girl there that I wanted to talk to. And they're like, yeah, she was kind of like hard to get. Like, nah, you're never going to have a chance. I'm like, let me try. So we went, you know, we ended up going to the house, and I had full intentions of talking to this girl. So I started talking to her, you know, and we were doing things that we shouldn't have been doing at that age, but, you know, we won't say that out loud. So I ended up getting her number because that was back, you know, I was 19. So cell phones back then weren't even really that big of a thing yet. So the only way to get her number, I was like, well, here, do you have like a pen or something? And she's like, well, no, I have a marker. So she takes this marker, pulls my sleeve up, and writes. It was a highlighter marker on the entire way down my arm. She writes her number down. And I was like, oh, my God, this girl actually gave me her number. I can't believe it. So we ended up going back to my buddy's trailer, and I ended up spending the night, you know, didn't drive. I was smart. And he didn't have air conditioning. It was in the middle of summer. So I sweat so bad at night.
Oh,
and
no.
all that marker wore off of my arm, and I could not.
Oh, no.
I did not. Yeah, I lost the number. But luckily, somebody I knew somebody that had it. And I ended up getting her number back. And if Hot Rangus is here, he probably knows where I'm going with this. Currently, she's my wife.
Wow, really?
Yeah, we ended up. I ended up marrying her.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's how like we kind of like met for the first time. It was I just showed up at a party at her house with just wanted to ask her out, and that's the thing. I called her, I asked her out, and
Wow,
yeah, this was
cool.
in 2004. So yeah, this coming May we've been together for 20 years, married for 10.
Wow, very
Yeah,
good.
how about that? So that's my cool story.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
If I would have got hit
crazy.
by a car or something, it would have made it, you know, a lot more fun. Or got attacked by wolves walking home or something like that.
That's totally a great story to end the show on, Mike. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
Something
terrific.
uplifting and positive.
Very good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Hot Rangus! Don't listen to anything he says.
Well, let's see if that was 20 years ago. You didn't have a cell phone back then, did you? No,
I don't think so. Yeah,
that was the other problem too. You couldn't actually verify if somebody's number was really.
Yeah,
the real number back
people
then,
had them here and there. Like the cool kids had them.
Yeah.
Flip phones.
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't
flip phones,
until I was out of high school before I got
The
my
ones that
first
look like
phone.
original Star Trek communicator.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. I think the first phone I ever had was like a huge brick, and it had an antenna that you pulled out, and ended up.
Oh, you mean like the?
Yeah.
It was like a Motorola.
The ones where the Motorola ones where people would say economy is the key.
But yeah, I don't even think the screen had a backlight on it.
The thing is heavy as hell, like a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, like an old army walkie-talkie, you know. Like
It was not Rangus's number. Yeah, the Zach Morris phone. I mean, it wasn't like this big or anything. You know, it was still fairly small. But I remember dropping that phone at a buddy's house in the snow, and we ended up finding it like 2 months later. And the
buttons
the
were
thing
so big
worked.
that they had
It still
pictures
turned on.
them.
wow.
The buttons were so big on that phone; it had pictures on them.
Yeah, like, but they were very durable, apparently.
Oh yeah, you could drop it off.
Now, you drop a smartphone now, and it hits the wrong corner, and the screen splinters. So that was my relationship story. Does
Very
that
cool.
guy have tiny short arms? I don't even know what you guys are talking about right now. So you didn't get your first cell phone until you've been in the Navy for 2 years, but kept the same number ever since. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have the same number. And I don't know. I don't think my wife's phone number is the same either. But anybody else have any cool relationship stories? Probably nothing that involves falling into rose bushes or getting chased by the cops. And
both your stories, I think, top anybody's.
Yeah, just next time a complete stranger calls, you get a wrong number, just
talk to them.
Don't dismiss them so quickly, maybe.
No.
Tell us the story. Well, I mean, you have to do that.
Well,
right?
no, back in that day, we didn't have cell phones, so
No. Did you have a pager or a beeper or anything like
no,
that?
this is before that too.
Dial up.
We're talking the 80s now.
Thumper says no, pretty late.
The only one in the 80s that had pagers were the doctors and attorneys.
They called him Gator. Is that from The Other Guys? Have you ever seen The Other Guys with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg?
No.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you should. It's really funny. No, Hot Rangus. That does not count.
That's pretty
He
funny.
met his wife at the frozen pea section. MG, did you both reach for the same bag of peas? I just knew
Your hands touched.
you like
There was a
green
spark.
Jolly Green Giant too.
Mm.
All right, guys. Well, said everybody keep it kind of short tonight. We've been going over an hour. Anybody have anything else to add? We're not going to be streaming this Saturday. Normal Nostalgia Power is not going to happen this Saturday, just so everybody knows. Something came up again. We're going to just push it back one more weekend. So,
But we will be back.
yes,
with
we
an
are not.
epic-
We are not going away. We're not losing interest. We're not just canceling shows because we don't feel like it. I still look forward to getting up and chatting with you guys Saturday mornings.
My God,
Yeah.
we have a very fun episode. We have tons of prizes coming. So
Yeah, I have a couple that should be pretty cool. We haven't given anything away in a couple weeks, so. And if you guys are still looking for tickets to the Love Boat trip this summer, I can post a link. Just if your name
Or
and your
the
picture
Midwest
wasn't
Gaming
included in the
Classic.
promo, or either or. I mean, anybody can go to the Northwest Gaming Classic, or the
Yeah,
Midwest
really.
Gaming Classic.
Why miss out on the good stuff?
Yeah, right.
They might announce something new.
Pre-order those broken pinball machines from New Wave Toys, guys. Don't forget.
Ralphie, why you got to bring that up? Come on, I pulled my terrible
Ooh,
towel
there it
out
is.
of storage,
Mm.
and I only do this for playoffs. And you cannot. No, you're not allowed to. No, the terrible towel. You treat that like the American flag around here. Believe me, people have American flags, state flags on their flagpole, and then right below all that is a terrible towel. I'm not even kidding. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for hanging out with us tonight, and we won't see you this Saturday, but we will catch you 2 Saturdays from now.
Yes.
Appreciate everybody for showing up. Thank you. See
Thanks,
you
guys.
Thanks,
next
guys.
time.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
night.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.